What's going on? Another episode of Kyle TV, and in this episode, we are talking about the cryptocurrency bubble. When will it burst? And is Bitcoin going to crash anytime soon? And we'll just go ahead and dive right in. So, we're at CoinMarketCap.com. As you can see, Bitcoin is trading at the price of $11,700 is basically the average weighted price on CoinMarketCap.com. If we pull over to our charts here, we see that this is the 1 day chart. We're trading up really high. We've only had, a few, not even barely one red day. As you can see, price fluctuation went from real high to real low right there. And that's where we are today. Now, if we, look at the entire market cap of cryptocurrency, we're at $351 billion right here. And the BTC dominance is at 56%. So Bitcoin itself owns about 50% of the market. Now, if we pull back and we really take a step back at the entire cryptocurrency market, and kind of relate it to the Dotcom Bubble. So everybody likes to say, Tulip Mania and Dotcom Bubble. Now, tulips, I don't know about you, but I don't know if tulips ever changed, the way people did business. But Bitcoin, I don't know if you can really compare tulips to Bitcoin. Yeah, there's a mania, there's a craze, and you can kind of compare it to as far as the mania hysteria and everything like that goes. But as far as relating them directly together, you can't, because with tulips, you can't just go and trade some tulips for, you can't use it as like a currency or a store of value. Whereas Bitcoin, you can send it across the world pretty instant. So I don't think you can compare the two. Now, as far as the dot-com bubble, I think you can compare it a little bit, obviously, because it's technology. So we'll head over to the dot-com bubble, and I'll kind of show you what I look for as far as the quote-unquote bubble. Like I said, we're at $351 billion market cap of the entire, we're talking about the entire cryptocurrency market. Now, the dot-com bubble peaked at $3 trillion. So I think when it crashed, it lost about $1.7 trillion. So, we got a long ways to go, guys, before we're at $3 trillion. I mean, I'm not saying it's directly related with the dot-com bubble, but we're only at $351 billion market cap, and that's the entire cryptocurrency market. And we're talking about cryptocurrencies that potentially can change the way we do business and everything like that. So Bitcoin is obviously the currency and the store of value, whereas you have Ethereum, where you can build applications on top of it. You have Ripple, which is for a settlement for banking networks and things like that. Dash, you have different use cases for each one of these. You got IOTA with a Tangle. It's not even a blockchain. It's called a Tangle, where it's already quantum resistant, where Microsoft's already partnered with them. You have Cardano, however you pronounce that, with leading developers developing basically what's going to be the next, better than Ethereum, basically. Monero. You have Stellar Lumens, which IBM partnered with. You have Amigo. You have, the list goes on and on, guys. You see these coins actually solving real world problems. Steam, with the new social media for decentralized social media platform. You have Status, you have 10x, Walton Coin, solving, product and supply issues, tracking, via the blockchain. Factom, which is a blockchain with, storing information on decentralized and things like that, with smart contracts, I believe. I don't know if it's smart contracts basically, but it's, in the blockchain where it's safer that way versus, everything being on the web. Basic attention tokens, where they have basically a web browser, and they, you can pay with basic attention tokens for advertising instead of doing it the traditional way. So, game credits, you got on and on. Each one of these, tackling a niche inside, or a niche rather, inside of each market. Even the Power Ledger taking on, wherever the Power Ledger's at, taking on the energy, the energy community. Substratum with internet, decentralized internet, on and on and on. You have all these cryptocurrencies that are tackling real world issues right now. And so that's why that I don't see this being a bubble anytime soon. I mean, obviously we're going to see corrections and things like that. Now, I am not a financial advisor, so I don't advise you to, buy or not buy, but I'm just saying this is my opinion and this is what I think. Now, I do think Bitcoin is growing at a very fast rate, and, as far as investors go, you like to see a little bit of correction and a little red in here, even though it's kind of a bummer to see that, but you do want to see a little bit of correction. I just have basic price channels here where Bitcoin could be anywhere in this area, and we're approaching the end of the year, obviously. Which is why most people think it's going to be around 10,000 area. You might see a little bit of correction, but that's as far as my opinion goes. Now, if we go to Amazon, the Amazon stock chart, let's see if we can find it real quick. Yeah, let me get the ticker. Now, Amazon was called a bubble at the very beginning as well. And if you zoom in at its chart, at its basically when it was called a bubble, it's actually relatively unnoticeable. So let me see if I can actually just pull this back on Google. I believe it was called a bubble right here in 2014, if I'm right. Or actually right here it could have been right here in the 2000s. It's one of these areas where they called it a bubble, and as you can see, the stock is priced at $1,162 and growing. You got a market cap of $560 billion. So I mean, this is just one stock, guys. So that's why people, hedge fund investors, you see a lot of investors saying that this is very undervalued market. Because it's only $351 billion compared to like one stock. So, that's a very, pretty accurate assumption in my opinion. Now, you'll see these bankers, saying that this thing is a bubble and it's a speculator, it's a speculative investment. Stay away from it. Now, some of this stuff, yeah, it is risky to get in. Only risk what you're willing to lose. But if you were to get in Bitcoin just a few years ago, imagine how much money you'd have now. So, I mean, obviously bankers are gonna point out that this is a bubble, because obviously they're gonna lose a lot of market share to these cryptocurrencies that are solving real world problems at an exponential rate. Even these lesser coins that aren't as maybe not as well known as Bitcoin, like Stellar Lumens or whatever, it's very fast, and the transaction speeds are basically almost instant, and you have basically even banking's admitting that they may have to take part in this cryptocurrency technology to quote unquote beat Bitcoin, which was actually at a conference that Ripple was at attendance in. And so, obviously the bankers like Ripple because it's, it's basically a tracking ledger and everything like that. Whereas, some of these other cryptocurrencies aren't as, transparent friendly. But we'll have real world integrations as well. Like I said in videos before, Cardano, however you pronounce that properly. But they'll have it to where you can actually reveal your ledger. Basically, they have a lot of cool stuff going on with that. But obviously, if you like to keep your money private, there's Monero, which is built from the ground up to be very secure and private and anonymous. But that's what I have to say about Bitcoin crashing or being a bubble and where this is going to be at. This is obviously, like I said, this is a lot of green. We're going to see pretty exaggerated movements, like one of the hedge fund investors says, we're going to see ups and downs. But as far as this thing's going, we're already, it's already dipped as low as 8,500, and it's rebounded back very, very quickly. So the best thing to do is obviously buy in the dips. But that's, it's up to your goals and your goals and what you want to accomplish. You could be investing in some of these other smaller coins, but a lot of these markets are a lot of these cryptocurrencies have been taking off recently, as you can see, as the entire cryptocurrency market is growing little by little. So, do your due diligence on each of these coins. Some of these maybe is still a very good steal. If this coin right here, like this number 9 coin, I'm invested in this coin, but if this takes off, then obviously it was a very good investment. IOTA doing great things. Obviously it's taken off and kind of went parabolic almost the past day or so, up 30%, which is pretty insane. But as you can see, the entire cryptocurrency market has a lot of green days recently. You obviously had these red days as well, but that's kind of a healthy thing that you'd like to see in cryptocurrency. It's not all sunshine and rainbows from day to day, but overall the market is growing. Dotcom Bubble, $3 trillion. And we're talking about literally like currencies and real world problems, where I don't think this is just stops at dotcom, bubble, technology bubble. These things are tackling in each different industries, why I think it will grow beyond the dotcom bubble, because at the end of the day, the dotcom bubble, yeah, it was huge, but I think some of these products will go very, very far. And like you said, we saw the Amazon stock, and if you research some of these market caps and things like that, you'll begin to see how actually small the cryptocurrency market actually is, in my opinion. But with that being said, guys, go ahead and do your due diligence. Let me know what you think below. Is Bitcoin just going to go maybe just a little red and have some corrections, maybe a little exaggerated movements, but overall go up in value, and we'll see a $40,000 Bitcoin next year? Or do you think Bitcoin will crash all the way down? If we pull this thing back down, is it going to correct and then correct too far and crash? Because we're actually at the 12 day or we're at the RSI. It is overbought. So let me know if you think below whether it's going to correct, or if it's going to just dip, or if it's going to crash. Let me know what your thoughts are. I will see you at the blockchain and in the next video. Later.